Okay, are you ready to go?
Yeah.
All righty. How's everyone doing today? Welcome.
Good.
Thank you.
Nice food.
One for best fashionable broker, if there is such a thing. Thank you all. We just have a wide variety of topics today. Nothing particular, a lot of dialogue. We just got back, Brandon and Aaron and myself, from this Inman real estate conference called Connect, which was the best and the brightest in the world, really, of real estate. It was very motivational for us, so very glad that we went. I was up for this Innovative Realtor of the Year, which was a nice honor to be up for. I did not win. We were innovative in as a traditional brokerage firm, our involvement into the community, into local government, Frank and Maria, all those sort of things, kind of exceeding the expectations of the traditional real estate brokerage firm, and immersing yourself into your community and into your city. That's what we're for. We got beat by EXP Realty, which is very interesting. They have basically 2,300 agents in 26 different states, and they have absolutely no office at all. The company president lives in Montana, and the vice president of IT lives in Arizona, and the director of operations lives in Tennessee, and they only meet online. They absolutely, I'm serious, they have no brick and mortar ever. And I'm assuming that that's very innovative. I think it's innovative. I'm not sure that it's really something I'm interested in. The ability to get online and chit-chat with your contracts coordinator who is in a different state and never understands paragraph 6A. I'm just not sure how that's going to work in the traditional deal. And I lead with that because I think the overwhelming thrust of the whole conference, which is about 5 days, was that the face of real estate is changing. Disruption is the new norm. Prepare yourself for change, and if you're not prepared for change, you're probably going to get left behind. In theory, and Gary Keller spoke, it was the first time he had spoken to a group in 10 years that wasn't a Keller Williams group. He was very interesting. His video is online, and I've been watching. It's a little controversial.
He's a good word.
But basically, I think he summed it up pretty well. The real estate company of the future is either a technological real estate company with real estate agents, or an agent-driven company that uses, and all of the fanfare and all of the attention and the headlines and the stock market values today the technology firm, which would love to do away with agents if they could. Now, they don't say that, but everything they're doing is designed to reduce the cost to the consumer, and the consumer likes that, right? The Department of Justice likes that. Everyone kind of likes it if it gets cheaper for the consumer. But the only way it gets cheaper for the consumer is if they replace Sandra and Marianne and Selena with an app, remember? Because the app is paid for. And the majority of those companies today are typical to the Zillows or the Ubers or the Amazons of the world. They are in business for years and never make any money. Making money is really not what they're trying to do. What they're trying to do is be disruptive and put out of business the other groups so that one day they're the only guy left standing, right? That's the Amazon model. Put out all the other bookstores so that you must, when you think of buying a book, you don't have the choice of going to Borders and Barnes and Nobles and the 15 independent bookstores that were here 10 years ago. The only chance to get a book, for the most part, in America, is to go online to Amazon and order the damn thing. And they will have it there in 2 hours for you, which is really, really nice, except it puts out all competition other than Amazon. And so it's just a factor. Now, so there is the fear of that, and then there's just the reality of it. And I think, if you cut to the chase, there were plenty of people that assume the model that will be the only model that can compete with those groups, Zillow as the real estate company. And in Arizona, Zillow is now a brick and mortar store in the conventional real estate business. And if they're in Arizona, they're going to be in 49 other states relatively soon, right? So that's just a model. The best model to compete with them is exactly what we're doing. The boutique, high knowledgeable level of firm, intrinsically involved into a community with great amount of integrity and knowledge and expertise, and that your value added really comes after the sale. And that's the model that's working in the long run to be able to compete with this. You'll be a micro, but Boulevard Realty is not going nationwide. We don't have an app for that. What we have an app for is understanding the difference between the 900 block of Euclid and 1200 block of Euclid. Yes, Cynthia?
Why is Zillow a brick and mortar store? Is it going backwards for them?
Well, I mean, I think it's an attempt to increase their profile in order to better utilize the Zillow leads that they have instead of just giving them to some agent at Coldwell Banker or Keller Williams. They can give the lead to the Zillow agent, right? Now they don't have to pay Coldwell Banker or anything. They just have to, so it's a model for them to try. It's really, these are mostly experimental ventures to see how they're going to work. And they're just going to throw it out there and throw it on the wall and see if it works or not. And I don't know if it's going to work or not. They may not want to be in the traditional brokerage firm.
So they're probing, basically.
Yeah, I think they're all going to, the way they work is venture capitalists throw them money to be experimental. They don't want to do anything other than to try something. And so they have no incentive. They don't have a loan to pay back the money. They don't have an investor. They don't have any stock on Wall Street. They're not trying to appease anyone. They're trying to test different models. Okay? The biggest example that's soon going to be here is this Compass Real Estate. They're a disruptor. They're a traditional firm, much like ourselves. So it's not like they're a discount broker to speak of, but they come into a market and they're very disruptive. And they've gone into every major metropolitan market. They've gone into New York. They've gone into LA. And basically what they want, never made any money, only lose money. Okay? I can have the best real estate company in Houston if I don't have to make any money, right? I'm just designed to lose money. What would you go and do? And they throw money at things in order to get 20% of the market share, 20% of the agents immediately. So they go to Laura Sweeney and they pay Laura Sweeney $4 million to join Compass. They pluck enough people and they gauge based on those agents' performance the previous year. So you just calculate the money of what it is that they need to get to 20% over there, and they'll go and find, they'll buy a company, and they pay between 4 and 6.5 times the earnings of a particular company. Now, they're probably not going to buy, but let's look at our market. Plenty of people are poised for a buyout. Remember, Julie Greenwood and Linda King have been at it a long time. At some point, they're not going to be here forever, right? So if you were Compass, you come in and you buy Greenwood King, just like Sotheby's did for Martha Turner, right? They bought themselves into a certain amount of market share. I don't think we're going to demonstrate they're not going to get to the 20% market in Houston, Texas, I don't think. But that's their goal, whether they make it or not. And we have found a fair number of people in where we were in San Francisco and in LA and in New York and Dallas, where people, they go there for a year, but then they end up leaving because it's, the hype didn't quite work out. But be prepared. It says coming soon on their website about Houston. So they will soon be here. They plan to be here in the summer of 2018. It's the summer of 2018, guys. So let's all be prepared. Brandon will start getting 1,000 calls from Compass Real Estate because I'm usually standing beside him when he gets these phone calls. But that's okay. I'm not, we're prepared for that sort of thing. And I only just mention it because they're going to be a disruptor into our marketplace, and they're going to assume that they can get into a marketplace by telling you how great their technology is. They don't have any experience in the Houston market. I did an in-depth interview with builder magazine about Zillow and Zillow estimates. I'm sure that Zillow is probably not going to be my best friend. I won't be getting a buyout from Zillow anytime soon because I said the truth. I do not know one seller who would sell their house for a Zillow estimate, right? I don't know one. Okay, so now that tells me that no seller thinks that Zestimate is a very good idea. If you're the buyer, of course you think it's a great idea because they got every house undervalued by 20%. So it gives the buyer a false impression of what it's going. Plus, let's be realistic, guys. America, wake up. Zillow has never been in the fucking house. They cannot possibly tell you what your house is worth if they're not inside and can possibly tell you what the condition of the house is. They never take into account a power line or a cemetery or whether or not it flooded or not. They're unrealistic. Wake up. It's not real. It's just in the cyber world over here. And so, but we have to educate the world that Zillow is not your friend if you're a seller. And it's not realistic if you're a buyer, but they got billions of dollars. They lost $1 billion last quarter, and so they have a better voice at it than I do. I don't wake up every night in the middle of the night worried about real estate. I really don't. I think it's going to be fine. I worry about the damn newspapers. I look at how it works and the disruption in newspapers. Without a valid newspaper, you're never going to get accurate reporting and you're never going to get the truth. And as the world is going to wake up one day real soon, there's going to be no journalists, no one checking for accuracy. And all we're going to get is the Donald Trump version of reality, which is not real. And anyone can manipulate the news. I can say I'm the greatest singer on earth. I can do a voiceover with Beyonce's voice over here and make you believe that I am the single best singer in all of the world. And none of that is real. And we're going to wake up one day and we're not going to have any journalists. And we're not going to have anyone fact-checking anything. And we're not going to have anything except some version bleeping over across our phone or our computer telling us something that may or may not be accurate and no one's ever checking. That's what makes me scared every day. But there are all kinds of disruptions in our world. We're going to wake up one day very soon in Houston, Texas, and there's not going to be a yellow cab available. And then Uber is going to decide they want to charge you $200 instead of $6, and there'll be no competition left except for you to walk or take the $200 Uber because they will have put everyone else out of business because they've saturated the market. The Uber driver can't make any money with the number of Uber drivers. You know how come they're having so many Uber drivers? They're trying to drive out competition. That's the only reason you would have this many Uber drivers.
Yesterday with Uber, are charging people like throwing out fees, even though people are not throwing out in the car and they take fees.
Oh, I've read about that.
In order to throw up.
I mean, someone's got to check that. But I think, that's just the overview of our, I think everyone was, the overwhelming majority of people are convinced that real estate commissions are going to be reduced and that your good ones are going to make it up with volume. I mean, that was the premise there. And I don't know how I feel about that. The iBuyers, open spaces. Did you bring a little video? I said, I mean, I think we need to be aware of this, and it's in relationship to other things we're going to talk about. So the iBuyer or the open spaces come in, they saturate a market, and they tell the selling world, look, you don't want to show your house, you don't want to pay the realtor 6%, you don't want to do any repairs, you don't even make up your bed every day. Let me just come in and buy the house from you. And we're going to buy it from you, and we're going to close at your dining room table over here, and we're going to just give you your money, and you move on over there. You don't ever have to do anything. And there's going to be a fair amount of people who are going to eat the ice cream over there and think that that is great because they're not going to want to make up their bed. They're not going to want to go through the hassle. Now, so what do we do about that? We go and say, there is no way on earth they can buy your house and resell it if they didn't take the profit away from you. They have to buy it from you at a price that they can turn around and resell it. And so you gave the top 10% of your market share to iBuyer or open spaces. And you may or may not be happy with that initially. If they come in and they tell you you're going to get $500,000 and you would have gotten $525,000, you're going to say that's a pretty good gig because I didn't have to pay 7% or so on my house. If you could have gotten $575,000, they left $35,000 on the table, right? And they have to leave some spread on the table because iBuy ain't just buying the house. They're selling the house, right? They're turning right around and selling the house through their agents, which they are going to pay on salary $30,000 a year. So they're not going to pay the traditional real estate company, or they're not going to pay the traditional 6%. So the salaried real estate agent is going to be a factor in our market. The Redfins of the world show where they're at. That's what they do. It puts people on salary, give them healthcare insurance, and they pay them X number of dollars that someone finds acceptable, and it takes the guessing game out of it. The only way Redfin can pay someone $42,000 if they're making more than $42,000 at some point. So, but someone's going to choose that lifestyle. They're going to say, I don't like making $5,000 one month, nothing the next month, and $15,000 a month after that. They're going to act. Melanie's perfect. She wants to work 8 to 5. She wants to have, her weekends off, and she's happy to have health care insurance, and that works for her. That's going to be the
As one Redfin agent told me face to face, she said, "Well, it works if you don't have a real estate practice."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
Like,
it gives you one. Sure, absolutely it does. If you don't have a fair amount of business, people in your network, then it works out just fine. Especially to get started, you don't build any loyalty really that way. It's a same thing. You're dependent on Redfin next month. If Redfin gets bought out by somebody else, and they do the same thing, they have every incentive to take Melanie at $42,000 and replace them with Melania for $32,000 if Melania will work for less than Melanie will be, right? I mean, you're not in control of your own destiny, and you're dependent upon someone else. The Redfin president CEO spoke. He seemed to be a nice enough guy. We were relatively impressed with him, but I mean, it's a model that's going to be in our industry. Here's their little open door deal, so we can just show you. I mean, because they're going to start running these commercials. Houston, Texas. These firms come by with a bunch of different names. Yeah,
It's really simple. You can actually
start over again.
What about service?
They're here this week. Open Doors here this week.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
They're here.
They're coming to our market. You're going to see Open Door on the HAR MLS.
I went to San Antonio's website. Yeah. They have a bunch so you can see. This is what you're going to be competing with.
Yeah.
This is 30 seconds.
Selling to Open Door is going to prove to be one of the easiest and most hassle-free experiences you'll ever have.
It's really simple. You can actually sell your home directly to us at fair market value, no listings, no showings. You choose your own close date, and we really walk you through that process step by step.
Just go to opendoor.com and answer a few questions about your home. Then you can request an offer with one click.
Our local market experts take into account all the qualities of your home. The details really make a difference because we want all of our offers to be accurate and fair.
Fair to who?
Once you receive the offer from Open Door, a home advisor will walk you through the process of selling your home to us.
Somebody like myself, reach out to make sure that you're able to understand exactly how we got to our offer.
It will actually spell out the fees that are associated with selling to us, so you'll know exactly what you're going to walk away with before you even choose to move forward with us.
And you can accept the offer with a few things in mind.
You'll request an inspection at a time that's convenient for you. If we find that there are repairs that are needed on the home, you can either make the repairs yourself, or a lot of people prefer to come to Open Door to remove that hassle.
Give us a repair credit, and we'll fix it once we acquire the house. You don't have to do any upfront repairs in that scenario. If you to close on your own timeline, we'll send a notary right out to your house, so you can sign all the closing documents at your kitchen table, rather than having to come to us.
Then you're done. Your house is sold in a matter of days, and you never even needed to list it on the market. And the best part, you can focus on moving to your next house.
Yeah, but you really think it's going to be the structure? They're just like a relocation company. They're doing inspections and seeing what they think it is, and then basically adding some more money to that and taking, reducing it from the price, so people won't have to do repairs. Then Open Door closes, makes the repairs, makes it pretty, puts it back on the market.
They're just coming in and buying their market price. They actually do an inspection.
They do an inspection. The other three house people are really going to tear that down and sell it to a builder. So they're only focusing on the tear downs of the market. This is for someone who's in Pearland in a brand new house over there who can't sell it, and then they think they're going to go to Open Door, who will take 10% less than the market value and put it back on the market and sell it at some point. And they're going to be able to sell it slightly cheaper than the exact model next door, because the exact model next door is paying 6% realtor commission, and Open Door is only going to pay 3% to the buyer's agent and $500 to somebody else.
How it really works in the suburbs, you know, where you can't have put all these
Sure.
better houses.
The cookie cutter houses.
When you get into the inner loop area, there's no way something like this would work.
Yeah, I just want you to be aware of it. Click on their deal, I went to San Antonio today when I was there. You can get up to their little market deal and you can kind of see that. So they don't have that many houses in San Antonio. You can see the cities. That's fine.
But you know what's so amazing is what
So
about all the stuff we do, and everybody's been there, all the stuff we do called service that's so outside
Well,
of.
that's what you're going to have to continue to promote. I mean, that's you're not getting any of that here. You can get there from the website. It doesn't really matter.
Well,
I mean,
Bill, you got also, we have probably the most intelligent network of homeowners who are telling us what the house should be sold for. If these guys come in and they said, we're gonna do it, and we're gonna offer you this price, this is your price.
oh, I think probably so. I mean, for someone who doesn't know the market,
Yeah.
it's going to be hard for someone.
But who
I'll be curious to
doesn't
see
know the market? They already have.
the guy from Pearland who's driving in over here from Open Door. That's exactly. Do I?
What's wrong with the
Nothing, but I can't possibly drive to Pearland today and go to Shadow Creek and tell you what a house is worth, especially even by looking at the one house. When I go on a listing appointment for a house built in 1999 in Shadow Creek Ranch, Section 1, if I drive over there, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I'm a really smart guy. Unless you, have been through all the other houses that sold to really know what their property condition was, and then go to all the other listings, but you don't even know what they're going to sell for just because they're listed. So, I mean, you can't possibly know what you're doing to give someone an accurate value of a house. So this is their little San Antonio penetration so far. It wasn't great. You could tell, to answer your question, they weren't in the inner city historic neighborhoods, and that's not where any of these groups are going to start.
So that's that 100.
No Alamo Heights for now.
Yeah. So this was a company. I buy, Open Door, same basic thing. Purple Bricks, which is the largest real estate company in the United Kingdom. With Purple Bricks, which is a discount brokerage firm that does it for about $2,500 for the selling side, plus the 3%.
Play on their commercials, everybody will scream.
But they're coming to America because they can. Get ready. I mean, the Compass stuff is slick, guys. The Compass stuff is very slick. You have $800 million to create a marketing program that's going to look very slick.
So Compass is behind that?
It's not nothing to do with Compass Bank.
Separate, yeah.
This is just Harvard brainchild who has a bunch of money from Wall Street or whatever.
Yeah.
And they've just created a very slick real estate company that will be coming very soon. Let's get ready for it. They are not a discount broker. They're not a discount broker.
I have a question. All of these models still give 3% to the buyer's agent.
They all still currently do.
The opposite of when buyers didn't have representation.
Do I know?
You know, like, you used to not have a buyer's agent. And
Right.
now it's like, you're essentially, you don't have a listing agent.
You have a salary or a discount broker
Yeah.
to give you some advice for the people who are smart enough to.
Did they have any comments
On when the 3% buyer side, yeah. Yes, the Department of Justice filed suit against the MLSs that said it's not reasonable for the seller to pay the buyer's agent. That in reality, the buyer should pay the commission for the buyer, okay? Now, how many times do we think we're gonna get the buyer to pay us 3% to go represent them? So the realtor groups complain that no one would represent the buyer then, and the Department of Justice has backed down for the moment. But that's an example of what they're really looking at. They're saying, how can it really be reasonable if the money is coming from the seller, but the buyer's getting adequate representation? we're actually able to say it works quite well. And that's just the cost of doing business, of selling your house. But I mean, it's the threat that if that 3% goes away and you're only going to get paid from the buyer, whatever the buyer is willing to pay you, yeah, our industry would probably face another uproar. There are still plenty of traditional 6%. And they had an example in California of the only way to compete against those deals is to do the opposite. Charge 8%, okay, and have unfettered service. We will move you. You never have to clean your house. We will mow your lawn. You don't do anything.
I feel like I already do that.
People that get
I hear you.
Well, the real deal is, how is this new company going to negotiate with realtors? I mean, because if they're not interested in making money, you know, they're gonna have less.
They throw money at it.
They have less gross profit to deal with when they buy a house and they turn around and sell it.
They don't worry about profit at the moment. Their incentive is not to make a profit, it's to put out competition.
Yeah.
Okay,
They're
I
willing
got
to lose money in order to do that.
Okay, so we may have to fight them.
We will have to fight them.
Wait, Jay just said it. I'm going to, whatever you call that place, at Cascade, to do the dishes, to take the trash out.
Yeah.
So we fight them with our interviews of different realtors from every company that says, you know, what about the service? I'm not kidding you. What I have done for this client.
Yeah,
You know,
it's the
estate
only
sale,
way to
different
really
person.
differentiate yourself. It's the only
Well,
real
but we
way.
have to do it over TV, don't
I
you think? We
varnished
need
the
to do
bar
ads.
top in one of them, you know, I mean, seriously,
What'd you say?
I varnished the bar top because the painter done such a bad job. I mean, I've done all kinds of stuff, and so have
We'll
you.
continue to get the opportunity to do so, I think, to
Yeah.
differentiate yourself.
Well, so are the real estate companies in the city willing to put together an ad and have different agents
That's why I
interview?
was talking about the purple brick ad, because the purple brick thing, at least the series of ads that I saw shows a bunch of people, you know, face palm, why did I spend money for a commission? Because the other guy says that he did his transaction and he didn't have to pay a commission. You had to pay a commission, making you be the fool, because why would you pay a commission? And that's their whole marketing thing.
I think we need to add. We need ads, clearly.
Yeah,
I think we're going to need to counteract. So whether
Yeah.
it's videos or how we're going to do it. I mean, I don't know that anyone watches TV at the moment.
How is
so.
HAR gonna deal with it?
I mean, HAR can. So we just did a little study. So can we pull up these numbers? So we did a little analysis ourselves of disruption in the marketplace. So and we basically looked. And we just went back 5 years, because I think we looked back 5 years. What has happened in 5 years? So we'll pull it up as quickly as we can. Every real estate firm in HAR market share went down. Every company went down, basically, that was here in 2013, with the exception of one company that you're all going to get. Better Homes and Garden was the only one whose market share increase in 5 years that was here 5 years ago. In 2013, the very largest company with the largest market share was Coldwell Banker with 5.12% of the market share. You can't get there. It's okay. So 5 years later, Coldwell Banker now has 3.5% market share. So they dropped their market share has been cut by about 33%. Were you there?
Yeah.
So Better Homes and Gardens went up from basically 5 years ago. In 2013, Better Homes and Gardens had 4.97, and now they have, I'm sorry, let me get to the right. Better Homes and Garden was the only one who went up
How many agents did each of them have in 2013?
Well, I don't know about them individually, but the number of firms, so the number of realtors went from 25,000 to 35,000. The number of brokers went from basically 3,500 to 4,000. So we had about a 20% increase of the number of firms. So now, so we take Boulevard Realty. Basically, we were 43rd in 2013, and we had 0.42% of the market, and now we have 0.38% of the market. Now, you got to be realistic. Our sales went from 171 million to 210. We're making more money. We're all making more money. The firm made more money. I'm only saying this because there are more players in the world that were not here. So I go back to EXP Realty, who was not here, now has more market share than Boulevard Realty. They have a greater market share in all of HAR.
Has anybody ever done a deal?
Never even heard of them myself till I got to
heard
San Francisco.
Yeah.
I know. Well, hell, they could have been in Missouri.
Yeah,
They were snowed in. I've never heard of them, but it's just funny for me. I'm just mentioning this because here's somebody we've never heard of who all of a sudden has $200 million worth of sales.
Mark and I have been friend is with EXP, and so we went and we listened to their presentation. It's very sexy.
Oh, I'm sure that it is. But your signs are still in your garage over there, right? Because there ain't no one to put up a sign except for you. And where do you download your flyer? You go to Kinko's, or you just buy it?
I'm just saying.
Yeah, I mean, it's not for everyone.
They don't have a brick and mortar, is that what you're saying?
Marshall Mortgage said he had some agents who had toured their new offices the other day because they were looking for a place to host an event. Because they have nothing.
Right.
They had nothing. And so there were like 5 or 6 of them that came and toured his office because they wanted someplace where they could host an event and do some training and just meet.
Yeah, I hear you. At some point, you want to talk to another real estate agent, don't you? Not just Skype with them. My God, at some point, the dating, you got to get off the internet and get in bed. Right? I mean, I just don't understand that. But yeah, I know. I'll just leave those easy. At some point, there's going to be Compass is going to be in there, and when Compass gets in there, they're going to take business away from someone. When Open Door comes in there, they're going to get a certain market share. They're going to take it away from someone.
I mean, the market is honestly changing, and also the consumer are, because we're more computer literate, and people are buying online, that's a fact.
Yes.
So I think these new companies, emerging new companies, they are spending a lot of money in advertisement, and they are slowly 45%, like 45% taking our market share. We're making more money because houses are more expensive. Now, what can we do as a team to educate the consumers so they can feel more comfortable with the value of our services? Because it is a value.
What we can do is make sure that you know how to sell your services. Because if you can't sell your services, you're going to get your ass kicked by an Open Door agent who does know how to explain their deal.
But being in front of, I don't have a problem with the 25 people that I touch. But how can I touch the rest
exactly.
of the people?
Well, we've got to be realistic. There's no way without spending $100 million that you can get to everyone. So I can't get to everyone in Pearland, in Kingwood, and Westbury. I'm just not going to be able to. So, you must prepare yourself for dealing with the challenges of why they should be able to do business with you versus a Zillow agent, an Open Door company, an iBuy company, a Redfin company. And that's the point. Is that you must be able to compete with them. And if you can't compete with them, then we must do what we can to help you compete with them.
Yeah, but shouldn't we have just a little marketing so that, because they're selling on the grass is greener on the other side.
Yeah.
So in that theory, they're telling you exactly what you want to hear. But they're not telling you the whole deal. And they're not telling you that the grass might be greener on the other side because there's a septic tank underneath that greener grass.
Right.
I hear you.
It's better to deal with the devil you know.
The point of today was to just make you aware, and then yes, deal with these questions. And yes, we can help to arm you with those sort of things.
Okay, and I think his idea about that grass is always greener, so we have that little picture of the grass is always greener.
Maybe we can get
and
Irma Von Beck's book about that. I have a copy.
Here's the agent in Greenwood King who has her own thing, so she can come in and fill up the house at no charge.
Right.
I just staged this house for her. I
So
charged-
this is exactly how you have to think about it, guys. If you don't think of it this way, you're gonna get your ass kicked.
Right.
E-Trade has a large share of the market, and every day Goldman Sachs, USB, Merrill Lynch, and then do just fine charging people significantly more than E-Trade. E-Trade is going to be around. If you want to sell your stock for $50, go to E-Trade. If you want a wealth advisor who will help you over the course of lifetime build wealth, then you're going to use a wealth advisor. We're wealth advisors. And you're going to have to learn to sell yourself as a wealth advisor, or they're going to use E-Trade. And don't get upset when you lose one to E-Trade. It's okay. You're going to lose someone to a $500 discount broker. And let's be real clear, I've been at this a very long time. Harder to charge 6% when the economy is booming than when it's busting, okay? They feel like they don't need you. If they feel like the house is gonna sell itself, you're gonna have a harder time justifying the price of what it is that we do. Yes?
So I recently did a presentation at the Northwest Chamber of Commerce, and rather than getting up and talking about what I had to offer as a realtor, I just did a presentation on the importance of equity. And I got text messages over the weekend from people who were there saying, you really gave me things to think about. I never really gave equity much thought. But the point is that I didn't focus on what I could do. I just focused on the importance of these things, and then I became an expert.
So that's what I was
That's
gonna say. The way to deal with this is niche marketing and branding yourself.
Yeah. I mean, that's the answer to that is yes, except if your niche is the heights and you're trying to go for a listing in Southampton, you're going to get your ass kicked in Southampton because you ain't the niche marketer in Southampton. So you got to get off of that to some degree, or you're limiting your market very small. So you've got to be a lifestyle expert of the entire city. You've got to be a real estate expert who understands inspections and financing and appraisal and survey issues, which work just well in Southampton as they do on Woodland Street. Or you are limiting yourself too much. So we're going to work on that. We're going to spend the rest of this year and the first of 2019 talking about that. I'm going to move on to some other things. Okay, but the most important thing we really saw that we did not institutionally incorporate into our firm is a CRM or a systematic approach to client and customer relations management. So we're going to pick a firm here very shortly, and we're going to pay for your ability to use that firm. Now, there's a lot of them out there, and some of you may use Top Producer or whatever you're using, and you can use that. But these new companies, and I don't like it, and I barely understand it, but you plug in all of you, if you don't have 100 people written down and give me their address and everything you know about them, you should get out of real estate right now. If you can't get to 1,000 pretty damn quick, you're also going to be bankrupt working for someone else on salary, okay? You need to learn to build a client basis. Then when you enter it into these CMRs that we're talking about, I'm just telling you how the world's gonna work. They know every damn thing about these people. So when they click on move.com or 3 Men Moving, they're going to send you a little something that says your client is thinking about moving, okay? When they click on things to do in Southampton and they live over here in Oak Forest, they're going to send you a little email that says your friend's looking at stuff to do in Southampton. Send them some listings in Southampton.
I'm out, man.
They know a lot about these people and will send you a system, and they're going to tell you, you haven't talked to that person in 243 days. You haven't talked to them, 17 other realtors have. So it's
My clients are too busy to talk to me every month.
So just send them an email once a month.
I send them all, exactly, that's what I do. I
But
send them
it's going to be
information
able
about the
to,
market.
it'll
for them.
micro do it, and so it's how we explain, like, if your client's checking on trees, they're going to send them stuff about trees, and if you're clicking on beer gardens, they're going to send them stuff on beer. This one, they're sending on stuff on vacations to Orlando. They're going to send them information about stuff in Orlando. They're going to better personalize it and do it for you. But all you got to do is send them stuff they're already interested in, versus sending someone a recipe for chicken noodle soup and trying to send that to 12,000 people. They're not all interested in chicken noodle soup. Someone just wants a bottle of
Well,
rosé.
that's what I was thinking of, because when I get on one of those lists, I just.
The ones we're gonna do are gonna be able to tailor it to these people and systematically show you how we think you ought to be approaching these clients in a reasonable manner. I'm not sending them all a blanket email once a week or anything, but it will show you when it's their birthday. You can send them something the day before their birthday, so they're getting it not in the 5,000 they already got on the day of their birthday, the day before. And if you want to do something about their birthday, write them a letter, write them a hand note the week before, the ones you really want to. It's pretty impressive, the information that they can help you continue to remind the people about how valid you are in their life. And that's what relationships are really what's going to truly set us apart. Genuine relationships, I'm not talking about sending them chicken noodle soup recipes. I'm talking about doing something that's fairly personalized to them, but it will help you get there. So we're going to come back to you. If you know of one you want us to look at, we're going to pick a firm here relatively quickly, and we're going to pay for it. Now, that's going to cost me about $60 an agent right there. Okay? Then we're going to go get you a transaction management coordinator that's going to systematically help you get your deals done. It's going to cost me another $60 an agent. So I'm fixing to start paying about $200 an agent, so about $12,000 a month for these systems to help you work your business. But we're all going to be real evident. See, if it ain't working in about 3 months, then my $600 investment wasn't paying off over here. So it's got to pay off at some point for it to work. But I think a couple of these systems we're lacking. We need to help you as a firm do that. We need to be able to brand ourselves better. We need to be able to explain these things. No one's going to know the contracts, the market, the lifestyle better than we are. We already do that. What we can do better are these things that as a firm, we haven't done a very good job in. That's what we're going to be working on, some of those things immediately. We think it's pretty important for us to get there. So we're even looking, even tied to the new office, where we're going to have downstairs. So what's next is these WeWork's fairly popular. WeWork real estate services. WeWork real estate spaces are next, and they're coming. They're already coming to Houston, Texas here, which makes it easy for people to pop in, be independent, the Keller Williams mindset of real estate. There's nothing wrong with that mindset. So we're really opening up more of downstairs for every real estate agent on earth to pop right in and do a little business right down below us, because we think that that's okay to be like-minded and share our services with other real estate agents. A John Daugherty agent can pop right on in there and plug in they can use our iPad and our computer and print out their MLS sheets if they want. We're going to be interactive in our industry. I'm not saying they're all going to be upstairs on the second floor, but we're going to make it easy for anyone to do real estate business in our office space. Okay? We're going to create our own real estate. I'm going to tell the world about it. That we have our own WeWork space right below at Boulevard Realty that's open.
Place to take a leak in the
There you go. There you go. There you go. You want to pick up a brochure on a different.
Or you can hold up a big fat leaf.
You go.
And a recipe underneath.
I think it's going to be fun. But yeah, we must continue to focus on what our local market is. We have to continue to focus on our client relationships. Real estate is very complex. And these apps make it sound easy, and it's just not that easy. At some point, it's about the people and the places. It's not about the technology. You got to know the houses. You got to know the contracts. You got to put a face to it. And so I think some people are going to be attracted to the technology. I'm not going to be able to do much about that. They're going to want to do it all on their app, and maybe they will. Someone's going to want to get in a car. Someone's going to want to talk to someone. Someone's going to want to verify how they feel with a real estate professional, and that's what we're going to have to do.
Even the Zillow CTO, their chief technology officer, was talking about the personal relationship she has with her realtor and how that's what they're.
Oh yeah, she sure did. She talked a long time. She never bought a house, and she was the chief technological person.
Yeah.
About the value of having an individual.
Yeah.
And same thing. She needed someone to unlock the, after she bought a house, she needs someone to unlock the door, so they delivered the couch from West Elm over there, and that person did that.
Yeah.
And there's value to that. There's value to that sort of thing.
So, just an idea of this floating number. So every realtor has the opportunity to go out and work with some other company to do a marketing concept for themselves. So I've seen realtors jump into one and then realize it's not worth a shit, and then they jump out, you know, or some people don't do anything. But what about the concept of, as a whole group, can we approach a marketing firm that, you know, Aaron or you would have to give approval on, we pay for it, but they get 60 agents to participate in, or maybe 50 agents.
I'm just telling you, what they do is they create a template for the 10 best restaurants in the city, and then they put your photo on it, and then Jay's photo on it, and then Mark's photo on it, and then John Smith, who's been to all those open houses, got it from the 3 of you, and it looked like it was so ingenuine that it was counterproductive.
Yeah.
Versus, there is no one message that I can send for any agent here. Every one of you are individual. Every one of you are unique. Every one of you touch different people. That's what we have to go and promote. Otherwise, we're just serving vanilla every day.
I'm just talking about a lead service.
There is no lead service that really works that well. So we were talking about marketing, which is branding yourself, and then we were talking about lead generation. So we talked to this firm. They spoke. They spend $125,000. They're my size. They have 30 agents. $125,000 a month in lead generation. That's what they pay out. And you know what they've created? A concept of a firm that just has leads and absolutely no brand loyalty later. Every one of these leads was not loyal the next day. So they pay all that money to Zillow, helping Zillow out over there, and they haven't made any money yet. They haven't even got back their
Well, meanwhile, you have invested in different community things that we've been involved with in this, and relationship building, and so you can, it's the same bucket of money, you can spread it however you want.
That's how I feel about it, yeah. Okay, any questions about disruption? Changes are coming, embrace the change, it's gonna be fun. Just be aware of it. Okay, so on this coming soon concept, I want to discuss it. We haven't really discussed it long. And I do agree with this National Association of Realtors and these other groups that are clamping down on it. And so this is the foremost thing. You must do what's in the best interest of your client, okay? So, Jenny, if I put coming soon at the 600 block of Euclid, the only ones on earth that can possibly know about that is someone that drives around the 600 block of Euclid. Okay, right? I mean, I have to drive by to see the damn coming soon sign. Versus the 180,000 people a day who are clicking on har.com and looking at the map and looking in on the heights over there. So is it in your client's best interest to show 10,000 people who might drive by in a week, or 4.8 million people who have access to the internet? It's still in the best interest to show to more people. The only one that, so the people that sell quickly or in a hurry or try and get themselves another buyer, that's in the interest of the agent. That ain't in anyone's interest of the seller. So the real estate firms continue to get sued over these things, and especially the ones that take an offer right quick. Okay, so I mean, in reality, the HAR will soon put on a policy, and it's probably going to be a very good national policy. You must leave your house on, because the government's going to tell us this. You must leave your house on the market 72 hours before you can accept an offer, or ethically, you violated the responsibility you have to a seller, because you've got to be able to test the market. Because if it's $550,000 and one guy who drives by is willing to pay $600,000, you don't know that there weren't 10,000 other people willing to pay $650,000.
Yeah.
You just wouldn't know about it. So I'm very nervous about the coming soon stuff. So we basically have taken away the coming soon sign. Doesn't mean that you can't say it's available, because it is going to be available. I'm assuming that you have a signed listing agreement. We can't accept any offers without me visiting personally with the seller, and I'm going to tell them, we are screwing you out of potential income. if you don't put the house on the market for at least a
And you
period
can put it on
of
and
time.
say showings start on the weekend.
Absolutely you
which
can.
I have done for years.
Absolutely you can.
Right. So I say I have a listing agreement, I put those 2 signs in the yard, but all it has is my name rider and boulevard. So that's it, there's no coming soon, there's no nothing.
Okay? Is it
So
for sale?
I'm basically told the seller, I said, the reason we're not doing it, because, you know, there could be, if we listed it, there could be 10 people in a bidding war
But
for your house.
the attorney from the Department of Justice is gonna say, Jim, you putting in the sign, did that benefit the seller or you? You're trying to get more business, you're trying to get yourself a buyer, you're trying to get another listing right quick. Are you inherently helping the seller?
I'm creating market awareness.
By showing it to one person out of 1 million?
Oh,
No,
no,
you didn't.
they're not even showing it.
I know, but I'm just telling you what they're going to say is you putting up the sign before it's on the MLS
Yeah.
is not helping the seller at all. It is helping yourself, so you put yourself before you put your seller, and that's unethical. That's what they're gonna say.
So we should take the signs.
I'm just telling you, you have to have the interest of your seller before yourself. It clearly says that. We clearly must believe that. And so if you just put, now, can you put the sign up the day before and put it on MLS the next day? Well, sure you can. You don't have to put it up. You don't have to rush to put the sign up. But let's more people. I mean, there's thousands of neighborhoods you can't even put up a sign. Okay, you can only put. There's no sign in River Oaks. So the way people know it's for sale is that they go online or they have an app for that, and that works fine for those sellers just fine, and it doesn't give the agent any advantage, right? So you have to be careful, or you're going to immediately get. I'm just telling you. Who's going to turn you into somebody? It ain't the seller. It's another real estate agent who lives on that block who's going to turn you in. They can be anonymous these days. They're going to turn you into Trek because you put your fiduciary responsibility ahead of your seller. It leaves you at risk because are you doing the best for your seller?
So what's your advice?
My advice is to put a sign up when you're putting it on the MLS. You can start the showings whenever the seller prefers or whatever and leave it on the MLS for 3 days before you accept an offer. And give it enough time for the market to determine the value. That's my advice.
Okay, but I can tell you, in my neighborhood, everybody moves around in the same neighborhood.
We're going to sell someone. So if you steer, if you're blocked,
friends and they want to move in next door.
But you're
it's
not
against the law.
You know, you're not preventing them from doing that. It's just that they gotta know there's a whole world of people who wanna move into Southampton Boulevard.
Yes. And if we don't show the people in the woodlands, that's against the law. Because you can't just sell to like-minded people in the
So we
neighborhood.
just don't sell until the 3rd day.
Yes.
They can.
That is the
You
best
can
advice.
even call people and you can even say this.
So you
you
said
know,
the
you can
car-
call,
Just list it.
another agent who works in that area, you can say,
I called them.
I know you like this stuff, and I'm just telling you it's coming on. We're not gonna show till Saturday. We're not gonna
No.
accept offers till Monday, but I want to give you, you know.
Guys. 1631, Joanna Lewis just called us before it went on the market, and we got 1631 Oxford for $425,000. Joanna Lewis screwed her seller.
Yeah.
She screwed her seller, right? Someone would have paid more than $425,000. I would have paid more than $425,000. It was worth more than $425,000. And she got her offer all signed before anyone else could see it. Now, I'm grateful, but I'm just telling you, I participated in something that screwed the seller.
Oh, yeah. You are on the other side.
I represented the buyer.
We were involved in a 2-lane deal, and it was just by the grace of God that I got in there and got that offer done.
A verbal offer, they accepted a damn verbal offer from you.
And they don't have to honor that.
But they said
They said it was verbal, and they didn't accept, they wouldn't even look at anybody else's offer that weekend.
Which I know, which was that house was the best deal, even though we paid like 50 grand over ask because Rich Martin just grossly underpriced it.
Some people do that.
And Becky would have paid
We
more.
think it's in the best interest, and when we represent the seller, we should leave it on market a reasonable period of time to let the market determines value.
Right.
Not us.
Buyers are
We don't
telling
know
us.
anything. We only know what we think. There's someone else. Every day in my world, people overpay for things. Every day. That's what we want when we represent the seller. We want to get the most we can for the seller. Or we're not, we're not participating in our fiduciary responsibility. Yes, David.
In regards to these coming soon signs,
Okay?
why can't it be in the best interest of both parties?
As long as you tell the world.
Right, absolutely. I mean, when I put coming soon out before, told our sellers we're not going to accept you in the first week, in the first week, but it gives the agents here a little bit of time to make their contract, but it also gives us the ability to gauge the interest.
Yes.
So we can
Only of the people in the block, though. The people on Wagner Street didn't get to know that, and maybe on Wagner Street they
Yeah,
lost
he's still giving the world a chance. He's just giving his.
He's just saying put the kid coming soon for a week before he tells the rest of the world.
Okay, so in our listing packet that we.
What they're going to say is, David, that the primary beneficiary of that is you. It was not the seller. The primary person that benefited was you. You got more clients. You got the ability to pick what realtor you want to work with, but that's not in the seller's best interest unless we have more offers from more buyers.
No, but how is that different for me listing a house and then I call David Houston and I say.
Is it on MLS?
No, it's not. I say, we're working on it. We haven't photographed it yet, but it's going to be on. I'm just giving you the heads up because I think you remember this.
And then you're going to go put it on MLS, wait 3 days, and screw David Houston up because you offer from
No, he
Timberlake.
had a chance. He didn't. I didn't say I was going to take. I didn't throw this in the pot with everybody else.
Why don't you just tell David Houston MLS that it's going to be on the MLS coming? If you have to tell him it's coming soon, you can say I'm putting this on the MLS tomorrow, and I wanted you to be aware of it. So if you want to tell the client, so we're not going to take any offers until Wednesday at noon.
That's exactly what I'm saying. If you
leave the coming soon on too long, you're really trying to benefit yourself.
Because all those guys, they still have to make the same offer. They're still rubbing up against the same people.
They're going to, what they statistically are showing you now, I'm not saying, is that agent has the ability to get more clients, more buyers, screw over another agent, and get more buyers, which is not in that seller's best interest. That's in the agent's best interest.
No, because the money's higher. The seller's getting the highest number, the best terms.
Why don't we just put it on the market? Why didn't we put it on the market?
Because it is.
Well, we could be painting a house or
Because
doing
it's
last minute testing the market.
No, we are testing, but in my thing, on Monday, I'm calling.
I know, but Jay, what they're going to say, how many agents do you know of the 34,000 that are in the MLS?
Well, I'm only calling the ones that sell in that area that know.
What about the other 33,900?
Yeah, well, we don't want to work with.
I know, but she gave an unfair advantage almost to David Houston.
Or Michael Holmstead or all those.
Because you want to do business with them.
Because I know they
Well,
know
because
the
they know
area,
how to
and I
do
want to
business.
sell old houses to old house people, because if you sell them suburban.
I know, but if a Pearland specialist will pay more, that's in your selling. All I'm saying, I'm not saying that that's inherently wrong, but the
Haven't you ever,
perception
when
of
in
it.
the bidding war, haven't you ever taken?
I'm gonna choose
Taken
the
an
one with
offer
the experience of
Yes.
someone,
Exactly.
because that's in that
Exactly.
seller's best
It
interest.
is, and
And
I.
explain to them, and even we
It's not
may
my
take
best
less
interest.
money if we think it has a higher chance
Me
of
too,
close.
I've done that many times.
That's in the seller's best interest. Leaving a coming soon
Yes.
sign up for an extended period of time is not in the seller's best interest.
Okay, so you do.
Creating a buzz in the beginning with it being on the MLS so everyone can see it will cause the greatest amount of interest into the house. And that's what your responsibility is, not a level of interest, the greatest level.
Oh, no, I want people to be, fighting for parking places for that first open house. I mean, I want a crowd.
Yeah, but what
So-
Bill's really trying to tell you is that
I would be leery of the coming
arguing
soon.
the track is a losing battle.
Well, I never put up the
Because
signs,
they're
by
not- they're
the
the
way. It's
ones-
always the call, it's always the.
They're not-
I think calling someone that something's coming on the market in the near future, there's nothing wrong with that.
Or-
Nor is calling
That's a tough
Laura Sweeney and say what's coming on the market and proposing.
I think we just have to do our due diligence. Maybe if we put a coming soon sign and send an e-blast to all realtors, coming soon sign is up.
But I'm just telling you, you're gonna get in a lawsuit because someone in Pearland didn't get the email and you inherently gave an advantage to someone else, not everyone. You discriminated because you only sent it to your sphere. You didn't open it up to everyone. So you have to be, the only way around that is to put it on the MLS, which is clearly identified as not being prejudicial and in the seller's best interest. If we didn't think putting houses on the MLS was in the seller's best interest, we wouldn't have an MLS. So that is this, if you can prove to me a way that's better for the seller, then I'm open to it. But the best way for the seller's information to get out to the public, because there are plenty of people in Boston looking for a house on Euclid. There are